Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Saturday, February 18th. I see some very cold conditions today under mostly clear skies as clouds build in from the northwest, with snow returning for the later part of today, with very active weather kicking off for Sunday night into early next week. A lot to get through. Let's get started. Key points we're going to focus on today: high pressure in control this morning, so we're going to be seeing some very cold temperatures bottoming out around 20 to 30 below, with wind chills down to about negative 40. With those clear skies, seeing some patchy freezing fog out there, but nothing too widespread. With the main concern today being some snow returning midday further north, overspreading southeast through the afternoon and evening hours. With that, we are going to see a return to some more breezy winds, could lead to some patchy blowing and drifting snow, especially in the mountains and at mountain pass level. That will be setting the stage for an extended period of active weather that will be getting Sunday night into Wednesday, so looking at a very impactful 72-hour period to kick off next week, tapping into some atmospheric river moisture, leading to a long-duration snowfall event. We will be seeing a rain-snow mix possible in the Magic Valley lower Snake Plain. All that moisture has to get here somehow, so with our warmer temperatures holding more moisture content in the air, that will be leading to some overnight lows and even highs above freezing, so 30s, 40s, maybe even some low 50s as we get to midweek. But with that, we are going to see some breezy to locally gusty winds leading to areas of blowing and drifting snow. Those winds will be strongest on Tuesday. We're going to see a widespread swath of about 40 to 50 miles an hour plus for some areas, with less than that as you get further outside of the Snake Plain and higher elevations. Satellite this morning, you can see plenty of clear skies in place, light winds, leaving some patchy freezing fog, but outside of that, you can see our next shortwave disturbance that's going to be working through the Panhandle and western Montana today, bringing our chances for snow through the later portions of this afternoon and this evening, with lesser chances on Sunday, but still some increased chances along the Idaho-Wyoming border region throughout the day. Water vapor this morning, so we were talking about this yesterday, atmospheric river of moisture. So you can see here pretty active weather, a couple low pressure systems just north of this, with the main concern being that, high pressure ridge. So this is in a great spot for us. More forcing all that moisture up and over directly into our area. So this will be, the continued pattern, and as this system develops and works up and over the ridge into our area, that will be bringing some colder temperatures and the chance for, those breezy to locally gusty winds as well. Weather risk outlook for your next 5 days. Main concerns today will center around the very cold wind chills this morning and very cold air temperatures as well. But later part of today, start to see that snow begin to work in further north around midday, and as we head out to the Snake Plain I-15 corridor late this afternoon through the evening hours, with snow continuing into early Sunday morning, further south and east primarily, but could see some snow showers continue throughout the day in the southern and eastern highlands. By Sunday night into Monday, that will kick off our extended period of very active weather. So start to see a rain-snow mix, Magic Valley, Snake Plain, and in the South Hills areas at the lower elevations, with snow and gusty winds for the priority for the next 72 hours. So looking at a very active Monday into Tuesday and Wednesday, going to be seeing some moderate to major impacts, especially as you head out into the mountains, with conditions beginning to improve late Wednesday into Thursday as we get some drier air working in behind this system. Watches, warnings, and advisories this morning. You can see a winter weather advisory for much of eastern Idaho with a winter storm warning in effect for the southern Teton Valley and Big Holes. We're expecting some of the heaviest snowfall rates and amounts. And you can see here on the right, this will be taking you through 11 o'clock this morning through 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. And generally seeing it about 2 to 4 inches along our Pocatello through Idaho Falls, Rexburg corridor. Seeing some higher totals further east of Interstate 15 and US 20. But as you head out into the eastern and southern highlands, generally looking at about 2 to 6 inches in the valleys. With some of our higher elevations picking up about 4 to 8. Some locally higher spots in the Big Holes, Bear River Range, and Tetons, looking at about 5 to 10. Temperatures today starting off very cold, as I had mentioned, about 20 to 30 below in our coldest mountain basins. But outside of that, should be a fairly pleasant afternoon ahead of that snow working in, so temperatures will be in the teens, 20s to low 40s in the Magic Valley. Wind gusts today starting off fairly quiet, but we will see those winds begin to increase through the later part of today. This graphic here will be mostly peaking this afternoon, and we're going to see those winds continue into the overnight hours, especially around the Magic Valley and southeast highlands, just keeping with that general breeziness component as we head into Sunday, with winds only increasing as we get into next week. Let's take a look at that timing for you. So very dry conditions start off this morning, but as you can see from the northwest, will be some marginal temperatures during the afternoon hours, but I would discount the rain on this model. It'll be all snow as it comes through. So as that snow begins to descend out of the central mountains and into the Pocatello, Idaho Falls, Rexburg, Magic Valley corridor, we'll be getting there around 4 to 6 o'clock there, and that will continue into the evening hours. So looking like as you're leaving this evening or heading out for any plans, will be fairly snowy along that I-15 US 20 corridor southeast to Burley. So certainly something to keep in mind for that. But by the later part of tonight, should be seeing some snow wrap up around Pocatello, Soda Springs, down to Montpelier and Afton. By 6 a.m., just some lingering snow showers along the Wyoming border region. Snowfall amounts until midnight. So like I had said, just about a couple inches for our valleys, maybe 4 to 6 as you head up into Ashton. So that's looking like the area of most impacts will be up in the eastern highlands with light to moderate snowfall elsewhere. For Sunday, we're going to see those lighter snowfall chances. Much of this will be falling during the morning hours, but we will be seeing some continued chances for snow showers throughout the day, generally south and east of the Snake Plain. Temperatures on Sunday, it's not going to be as cold with plenty of cloud cover, but still seeing some single and double digits below zero to kick off your Sunday, with afternoon highs in the 20s, 30s to mid-40s. Wind gusts on Sunday, so starting off a little bit breezy, gusts about 25, 35 miles an hour for Sunday morning into the early afternoon hours. But you'd see there later part of the day, start to see that more widespread 30 to 45 miles an hour, especially in the mountains further north, across the Magic Valley, Snake Plain, and into the eastern highlands. Temperatures for your Monday, so keep it with those lower temperatures. It's going to be warming up, so plenty of cloud cover in place, and overnight lows will be in the teens, single digits up towards Stanley and some of our Arco Mud Lake desert areas, but overall should be fairly mild in the 20s to low 30s, with afternoon highs in the upper 20s, mid-30s to near 50 degrees in the Magic Valley. A wind gust on Monday, so we're keeping with that breezy wind to locally gusty wind component as we head into Monday. Seeing those wind gusts continue, so all of this snow and wind is going to be brushing in a lot of moisture in from the Pacific. Seeing some wind gusts about 30 to 45 miles an hour for Monday into the early afternoon hours, and that will continue into the overnight hours as well, looking at about 30 to 45, pushing about 50 miles an hour in some of our wind-prone areas. Snowfall amounts on Monday, that will be fairly dry across portions of central Idaho, but as you head further east of I-15 and up towards the Stanley Mountains, Sawtooth area, Banner Summit, we'll be seeing some snowfall up there, especially accumulating on roadways with those locally gusty winds, leading to some areas of blowing and drifting snow. As you can see, as you head out into the Tetons, it's going to be a pretty prolific snow event kicking off even this system tonight into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Should be some fairly impressive totals in that direction. Temperatures on Tuesday going to be fairly mild to kick off your day, teens 20s to low 30s and mid-30s as you head out into the Magic Valley, with afternoon highs on Tuesday going to be in the 30s, so almost everyone sees above freezing, but should be keeping to mostly snow further north and east, just a chance for some rain snow mix as you head out into the Magic Valley and lower Snake Plain. Wind gusts on Tuesday, so wind gusts are going to peak throughout the day on Tuesday. So with that, we are going to see some very strong winds, looking about 35 to 55 miles an hour. And with that, snow's going to be coming down, lots of wind out there. We've seen some areas of blowing and drifting snow, and coinciding with Tuesday will be the most widespread snowfall 24-hour period of this system. By the later part of Tuesday, starting to see those winds come back down, but we're still seeing gusts to about 20 to 40 miles an hour through the later part of Tuesday into Wednesday morning. Snowfall amounts on Tuesday, so start to see a much more widespread coverage of the snowfall here. Still seeing very impactful snowfall across the eastern and southern highlands. That continues up in the central mountains, now in the Wood River Valley, and you can see a light spattering of snow for just about everyone. Temperatures for your Wednesdays, so this is going to be starting to cool down, having the colder temperatures begin to work in behind that main push on Tuesday, and that will be leading to some dangerous wind chills, especially for Wednesday night, looking at about negative 40 to negative 50 up along the divide. But afternoon highs on Wednesday should be fairly mild in the teens and 20s to low 30s. Start to see some single digits work back up into the Lemhi Valley and up towards the Montana border region. Wind gusts on Wednesday, so keep it with that slightly breezy wind component. You can see the wind gust component here coming out of the north, so that will be bringing some drier air into the area for Wednesday, but certainly could lead to some areas of blowing and drifting snow, and that will continue into the Wednesday overnight hours, leading to some wind chill concerns as well. Snowfall amounts on Wednesday, so keeping with that trend, especially across the eastern and southern highlands. This is the third day of pretty impressive snowfall totals, and you can see 2 to 5 inches along the I-15 US 20 corridor, continuing with about 1 to 2 inches across many of our valleys for Wednesday. And with a northwest-oriented storm, we are going to see lowest totals across the Arco Mud Lake Desert and further north across the valleys of the Central Mountains. But as we get to Wednesday, flow will be turning more from the northwest out of the west, so start to see that more spattering of snow, especially as we head into Wednesday for these areas that might not have seen a ton of snow just yet. And I thought this graphic would be helpful, kind of capture the 72-hour total. So this is a first look. This does not include the about 5 to 10 inches that we'll see in the mountains further south and east for the later part of today into tomorrow. But as you can see, especially as you get out into the Tetons, Bear River Range, and up towards the Central Mountains, Western Sawtooth, Smokies, Soldiers, will be a pretty prolific snowfall event. We're generally looking at about 2 to 5 feet in some of our mountain areas, especially as you head out into the big holes and Tetons. So certainly, being the skier myself, getting pretty excited for this. But certainly something to keep in mind as you're headed out the door over the next couple days will be a fairly impactful travel period, especially as you head outside of the Snake Plain. But that was your weather briefing for today, Saturday, February 18th. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have a great weekend.